In 2026, global strategy operates in a state of permanent systemic instability. Rigid defensive perimeters inevitably fracture when external pressure overwhelms their mass, making traditional territorial defense a liability. Survival now depends on network sovereignty, the capacity to maintain command, control, and continuity, even when surrounding systems collapse. This is the core of Aquarian systematic resilience, or ASR. This doctrine treats instability as a structural constant rather than an anomaly to be avoided. As this matrix illustrates, the legacy Westphalian model relied on the logic of boxing, a massing force to resist impact. ASR adopts the logic of jujitsu, prioritizing active stabilization to redirect the momentum of a crisis and maintain operational flow. A fortress absorbs every ounce of an attack until its walls give out. A networked system behaves like water, opening channels to let stressors pass through safely. Institutional survival requires engineering systems that can channel and survive a crisis's own momentum. Traditional risk assessments audit physical mass and muscle. ASR audits the nerves, identifying the pivot domino, the single critical node whose failure triggers a cascading systemic collapse. These pivot dominoes are ghost nodes overlooked by legacy audits, customs ledgers, power grid protocols, or key individuals. When a single joint fails, momentum transfers down the line. This chain reaction paralyzes the network, turning localized failure into total operational blackout. Organizations must shift their focus away from counting assets and toward identifying these structural joints. Fortifying a massive perimeter is a sunk cost if a single peripheral gateway can halt the entire operation. Strategic power relies on the integrity of these hidden nodes. If a missing authorization protocol stops the movement of energy or cargo, the size of the factory or the scale of the army becomes irrelevant. To prevent these cascades, ASR replaces rigid hierarchies with a distributed mesh. This applies the packet switching architecture of the Internet to governance, distributing authority across a network of independent pathways rather than a central server. Within this mesh, AI and automation act as a nervous system. Predictive algorithms sense stress and reroute energy and command through redundant nodes before failure spreads. This relies on the sovereign override clause. Trusted high-integrity nodes bypass standard procedures to maintain stability. The 72-hour survival metric acts as the standard for this autonomy. Every critical node must be engineered to maintain its own operational flow for 3 full days, even if it is completely severed from central command. To power this localized autonomy, global technology hyperscalers are now actively securing physical control over nuclear facilities and regional power grids. They are moving to ensure that the physical infrastructure supporting the mesh can survive a broader grid failure. Decentralizing authority and securing independent power serves as a mandatory architectural requirement for maintaining sovereign power. It provides the fail-active foundation needed to survive systemic shocks. The $10 trillion destruction caused by the 2008 financial cascade serves as the baseline for the price of fragility. In contrast, ASR generates a proactive resilience dividend long before a crisis occurs. Systemic alignment natively creates efficiency. Utilizing AI for active stabilization reduces logistics congestion by 18%. In a multipolar world defined by constant supply shocks, sovereignty is measured by the resilience of operational flow. The scale of static assets matters less than the ability to move resources and information through a disrupted network. Leadership must move past the fortress mentality and immediately architect systemic continuity. Power belongs to the organizations that can prioritize the nerves over the muscle and maintain the flow through the coming instability.